Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make this super duper cute leggy frog. I actually do already have a tutorial up on my YouTube channel on how to make these little frogs. However, I've gotten a lot of feedback on what I can do better on a newer tutorial. So that's what I'm doing for you guys today. I have updated the pattern a little bit, made it a little easier for you guys to understand, and overall, I just think they look so much cuter. But yeah, this tutorial should be super easy, basic, and the product should be really, really cute. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into everything we're going to be needing to make this leggy frog. So to begin, let's start with the smaller things. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a stitch marker. This is very optional, but I prefer to use a sewing needle. I use a 4mm hook with the chenille yarn, but you can size up or down depending on if you use this yarn or a different yarn altogether. I use 8mm safety eyes and the backings to go with it. Again, just my preference, I used 8mm safety eyes in this frog, but if you use different yarn, use different safety eyes depending on the way you want your frog to look. And then for the mouth, I used this very fine black yarn that I found also at the dollar store. And you're going to be needing green yarn of some sort or whatever color yarn you want. I'm using this yarn from the dollar store. I've been really into dollar store yarn lately. Just the feel is very nice. You'll also need some stuffing, but that should be all you need to make this little frog. To begin, you're going to grab the color that you want to make your frog with and your 4mm hook, and we're going to start off by making a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is what your chain should look like. To begin the first round, we're going to go into the second stitch from the hook. Now I know this is hard to see, but bear with me. This is the first stitch right here. This is the second. We're going to go into this one and we're going to make one single crochet. Now we can do 8 more single crochet down the rest of our chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should have 9 single crochets total. We're now going to turn our work upside down so that we're working across the bottom part of the chain. And we're going to make single crochets down this back side of the chain. So put one into every single crochet that you can see. You should be making 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now we should have a round with single crochets going completely around the chain. And here is where you're going to grab your stitch marker and put it onto the loop around your hook. That was round 1. Round 2, we're going to begin with 2 single crochets, 1 in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2. And in this third stitch, we're going to be making what I like to call a double crochet cluster, otherwise known as the popcorn stitch. So to do that, you're going to be making essentially 4 double crochets into that same stitch, and I'll show you how to do that. So to do that, you're going to loop over yarn on your hook, go into that stitch, pull up a loop. Should look something like this with 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through only the first 2. And you're going to do that again. So you're going to yarn over, go back into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, but only go through the first 2. Now we have 2 double crochets. We're going to do 2 more. Yarn over into that stitch, pull up a loop, pull through the first 2, one last time, into the stitch. And now we have 4 double crochets. We're going to yarn over one last time and pull through everything on our hook. And that is going to be the little like eye socket. So that's going to be where we end up putting one of the safety eyes. You're now going to do 3 single crochet into the next 3 stitches, or 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And now we're going to do another one of what we just did, the double crochet cluster. So putting those 4 double crochets into that same stitch. Once you have that done, you're going to single crochet back to the stitch marker. Once you get back to the stitch marker, you're going to move it up to the loop around your hook. And that was the second round with the crochet clusters for the eyes. For the next 4 rounds, we're going to be making just single crochets into every stitch. So 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way around for the next 4 rounds. And make sure to move your stitch marker up with every round. And I'll meet you back here when I have those 4 rounds done. I have finished the 4 rounds of single crochets, and now we're gonna do the like floppy arm row. So we're gonna be doing the first floppy arm row, and essentially we're gonna be crocheting to where we want the arm, making the arm, single crocheting back along, making the other arm. But yeah, I'll show you guys. So we're gonna start by crocheting to where we think the middle of the side of the frog is. Just single crochets. I'm gonna make 1 more, and this will be pretty in line to be on the side of the body. Once you are where you want to put your arm, you're gonna chain 13. After you chain 13, you're gonna skip this first chain, go into the second, and make a slip stitch. And then you're gonna slip stitch twice more. So 3 slip stitches in total. That is the first little finger. You're now gonna chain 4. go into the second chain, make a slip stitch, make 2 more slip stitches into the rest of the chains. That's your second little finger, and do that once more, chain 4, and slip stitch down 3. So in the second chain from your hook, so now you have your free fingers, and to attach it back to the arm, you're going to slip stitch into that first chain you started that first finger on, just like that. And now you can slip stitch down the chain back to the body. So 1 slip stitch all the way until you get back to your body. And then you're just going to single crochet in the next stitch to secure. That is the first arm, and you're going to repeat that same process for the other arm. So I'm going to single crochet down to the other side. This looks about right. Diagonal from the other arm. I'm going to chain 13. Second chain from your hook, you're going to slip stitch and make 2 more slip stitches after that. That's your first finger, chain 4. Second chain from the hook, slip stitch in the other 2 chains, and repeat that one more time. Chain 4, slip stitch in the second stitch, and slip stitch twice more. Secure the hand by making a slip stitch in the first chain that you started in, the first finger, and then slip stitch back down to the arm. Single crochet in the next stitch, and then single crochet to the stitch marker. Move your stitch marker up. We're now going to do another 4 rounds of single crochet. For this first round, I'm going to help you guys out. So single crochet to your arm. And you're going to notice that the stitch where the arm is no longer there. So what I do is I kind of go into where the armpit would be, and I just make a single crochet in that space. And then I continue around in the next stitch. Single crochet down. And then do the same thing in the other little armpit, just go into it and make a single crochet. So I'll be back when I'm done with my 4 rounds of single crochets. I have finished the 4 rows of single crochets. You're now going to do the same row that we did for the first set of arms, but this time we're going to be doing them as legs. Go back if you have to see how to make the arms again, but it's the same thing as before. You can go ahead and remove the stitch marker now. I'm going to do one slip stitch to get to my leg, and I'm going to pull through and cut off my yarn because we are done with the body. Leave a small tail to close the bottom. I'm now going to go ahead and add my eyes and mouth. So for the eyes, you're just going to go ahead and put them in between a few of the double crochets. So that one looks good. And then this one's going to go right here. Good. And then I can just take my backings and put them on. Your eyes should be nice and secure now. To make the mouth, I'm going to go ahead and cut maybe like this much should be fine. You really do not need that much for the mouth. This part I do like to take the yarn needle to help me guide this through. I'm going to go in one row under the eye. So exactly where the eye is lined up, one row under. And then I'm going to poke out through the middle, kind of going in like a downward diagonal way. I'm going to pull. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail poking out though. And then I'm going to go back over so that this part shows and in through that same stitch, leading underneath until I get to the same place, kind of, but like on the other side. So one row under this eye. Pulling that through. And then I'm going to go right back into this stitch that I made that center in. There we go. I might redo the mouth, but normally every single time. All right, I fixed my mouth. Go ahead, push those ends in, and then you can get your stuffing and stuff the body. I would say stuff it to be like medium filled. I would not fill it like completely because then it's going to be like overstuffed and it's just not going to be like as cute if you overstuff it. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it as that. That should be fine. And now you can use your hook if you don't want to use the sewing needle, and I'm going to use my hook to show you. But basically you're going to be going through the stitch, pulling that yarn through. I'm going to push that back over, go through the next 2 stitches across, and then pulling that yarn through. It's essentially just kind of sewing, but with your hook. You can do the same thing using the needle. I normally prefer the needle. However, I'm just showing you my hook for now. Doing that into each pair of stitches across. And you can see how that's closing up the bottom. If you want a little bit more stuffing, you still have time to put some in. I'm going to go ahead and close mine up though. because I'm happy with the amount of stuffing I have. Once you get to the end, you can go ahead and just kind of pull through a few times to really make sure this end of yarn is not gonna come out. So as I just kind of poke through a few random places, make sure I have that, you know, secured. I'm gonna cut my excess yarn off. But this should be your final little frog that you get. It's so cute. I like how unique these frogs are. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video or tutorial. Bye!